Okay. All right. We got another one from Kyle. All right. I like this guy. He makes me flex my brain muscle. Psalm 137:9. All right. We are going to Psalm. If you open up the Bible, there's a good chance you're just going to land at Psalm, and there you are. Now, what I love about the book of Psalms, is there's something there for every human emotion. All right, I'm at 140, so I'm pretty close. All right, 137. No, here's the thing, Kyle. I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't wrestle with scripture, if there's lines of scripture that haven't gotten you bent out of shape before, you ain't really in this book. Okay, so you, sir, are truly in the scripture because you're wrestling with it and you're like, what does this mean? So, all right, a reading from the book of Psalms. I'm going to do verses 8 and 9 together just because I think that gives a little more perspective because, like, Al at my church, really nice little guy. Whenever you're wondering about, like, what does this verse mean? Well, look at the one above it and below it, and I'll give you. Now, this is the last of 137. So, okay. Fascinating here. Okay. A reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 137, verses 8 and 9. O daughter of Babylon, doomed to be destroyed, blessed shall he be who repays you with what you have done to us. Blessed shall be he who takes your little ones and dashes them against the rock. So, let's take a look here at what some of this says. For verse 6, it says, let my tongue stick to the roof of my mouth if I do not remember you, if I do not set Jerusalem above my highest joy. Remember, O Lord, against the Edomites, the day of Jerusalem, how they said, lay it bare, down to its foundation. So the notes here, the footnotes for verses 6 through 9, and it's also got, okay, it's excellent. All right. When it says, remember the Edomites, Obadon testifies to the callousness and hostility of the Edomites after Jerusalem fell to Babylon. Okay, daughters of Babylon, a personification of the nation of Babylon. And now here we go with dashes against the rocks. See Isaiah 13:16, Hosea 13:16 also. And also one other, there we go, book of Isaiah. All right. Okay, whoa, okay. All right, we found it. Isaiah chapter 14, verses 15 and 16. Whoever is found will be thrust forward, and whoever is caught will fall by the sword. Their infants will be dashed in pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be plundered, and their wives ravaged. And so what that is saying, I'm guessing they've got something here. Yes. The terrors brought by war, places of safety where people keep all their worldly possessions will be destroyed. And so it's a way of saying that the things that are most precious to you will be destroyed if you lose faith. So now I'm going deeper into this one because you have piqued my interest, sir. So we're going to go to Hosea 13:16 as well. That's an interesting coincidence. So we're at 13:14, 13:16. Samaria shall bear her guilt because she has rebelled against her God. They shall fall by the sword. Their little ones shall be dashed to pieces and their pregnant women ripped open. And for the commentary for that is the capital city and driving forces behind the northern kingdom's rebellion. Figurative language for destruction here gives way to chilling expression of hard reality. So these are all ways of expressing that there is going to be hard destruction coming to you if you don't keep faith in the Lord. This isn't some sort of this isn't some pro-choice Bible verse. Like, so if anybody's ever come to you with that before, this is just one of those instances that this is just one of those instances where they're not really understanding the scripture, and any difficulty that you have could be understood by just getting a little deeper into this. So Kyle goes, I'm loving the deep dive for answering difficult questions. Hey, that's what we're here for. We're all here to learn. Iron sharpens iron. Okay. If your question, if you don't like, if there's not difficult questions out there, I would be worried, because that's the thing I always say. The reason that one of the ways you know that this is true is that there's a lot of difficulty in understanding it. If people were just making this all up, it'd be real easy to understand. Like the Trinity, you'd understand easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy. It'd be no problem at all. But the fact that the Trinity is so hard to wrap your mind around kind of shows that we're not making this up, and nobody's making this up. And so I love that. I appreciate these difficult questions, and this really backs up something that I'm going to be emphasizing at the Bible study I'm going to be teaching on Wednesday, is that scripture justifies scripture. If you have an interpretation, and this is going to be one that I'm going to use, because there's this, just darling little old lady at our church named Mabel. And her favorite Bible verse is John 14:1. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. And I'm going to use that one as a great example where it's like, okay, let's say your interpretation, Mabel, is, let not your heart be troubled. Don't trouble your mind. Don't trouble your spirit with things that are outside of your control, because the Lord will take care of it because you have belief in him. And I come back like, no. When it says let not your hearts be troubled, what it really means is you need to get 2.5 hours of cardio every week to make sure that your heart is not troubled. Now, when you go to the gospel or go to the Bible anywhere else, guess whose interpretation is going to be justified by scripture? It would be Mabel's, not mine. And that's one thing I've learned. Like, always make yourself the bad example, make everybody else the good example. All right. So I'm going to go to Nahum, and I'm looking for, hey, folks, I want to get the deepest answer here. 1586, the book of Nahum. And that is the last answer here. Nahum, and it's chapter 3, verse 10. All right. Chapter 2, almost. Chapter 3, verse 10. All right. Yet she became an exile. She went into captivity. Her infants were dashed to pieces at the head of every street. For her honored men, lots were cast, and all her great men were bound in chains. Oh. So this has to do with the lots being cast prophecies. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Her infants dashed. Such brutal practices were carried out to deter further uprisings among subjugated peoples. So it also has to do with rebellion against God, that these are the punishments for rebellion, especially in the ancient world. So, and just like that, a whopper of a puzzle piece falls smack dab